Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome, one, welcome all. Welcome to another live conversation in the context of our constituency predictions. And for this evening's conversation, we're going to focus on the parishes of Hanover and Westmoreland. So, right now, we're going to go to some music. So, as you rock and come in, please remember to hit the like button, the share button, and of course, the subscription button. So let's go to some music while we get the number up here. All right. But again, welcome one, welcome all. So happy to have you guys here with us. If you're a returning viewer, listener, subscriber, welcome back. Welcome back. If you're new to this channel, welcome to the Voices in Education. Voices in Education is a safe space where we share and learn from each other. We do that in a respectful way, so we do not bash anyone, we do not belittle anyone. We just keep it real and respectful so we don't defame, all right? We understand that we share different views and that is totally okay. We just share again in a respectful way. Blessings and love, everyone. Let's go to some music while you get the thing going in the chat there. So hit the like button, hit the subscription button, and ensure that you comment. Let me know where you're tuned in from or the constituency that you're associated with. All right. Welcome one, welcome all. So happy to have you guys here with us. And I am looking in the chat and I can see Marva is here. All right. And welcome, Marva. So happy to have you guys here. And remember, guys, you need to hit the like button, hit the subscription button, and comment. Ovi, how are you? Welcome.
Hello, hello. I am good. Welcome to all the persons who are in the chat. Really happy to have you guys here. Excited for this one today. How are you doing?
I am good. I am good. So, what are you most excited about, if I may ask?
Just the discussions that will happen around the constituencies that we're going to discuss for these two parishes. So that's pretty much what I'm excited about. I'm really eager to hear what our followers are going to say when it comes on to these candidates.
All right, fantastic. So, again, guys, in the context of what we're doing here, right? They're just predictions. It doesn't mean that the results that we're sharing are the results that we will see on the day of the election. All right. And so I just want to make it clear. We open this platform for you to share your views, in the context of who you believe is going to win, and that is your voice. So, in the context of this conversation, we don't want people, telling us about our assessment. Fine, you can share some points and say, okay, I would consider respect. Respect is very important, in the context of what we do here. And we want to make sure that everyone feels safe and comfortable being here and they're able to share. Whether you're PNP, JLP, or no P. And remember, as I always say, we are all Jamaicans. All right. So in the context of what we have planned for this evening, we're going to get started and we're going to move on. Again, we're looking at, predictions for Hanover and Westmoreland. We're going to start out with Hanover, and Hanover has two constituencies. So, Hanover Western and Hanover Eastern. So, welcome to the parish of Hanover. So, if you don't know, now you know. Two constituencies or two seats, as perhaps you would hear them call it, and so in that context, you'll have two MPs, Member of Parliaments, representing this parish. So, one for Hanover Western and one for Hanover Eastern. All right, so welcome one, welcome all. And guys, we don't want to do like last evening where we delay the likes. So hit the like button. This is not a political channel. As a matter of fact, tomorrow, join us at about 1 o'clock Jamaica time for the Diamond League, all right? Stop in Brussels. We'll be there for that. So, just to let you know, we're just here to share information and we're just here to do some predictions. As again, in the context of our predictions, It's not just myself. So Ovi and I, we have a process that we do. So for this evening, it took us a while to come on because we were going back and forth with the data, and it's significant in the context of factors that we consider before, making a prediction. And sometimes we do not always agree on the prediction, but one thing for sure that we agreed on is that we're going to come to you as with one voice, and we're going to come to you with a predicted winner, as difficult as it may be, because again, they're just predictions and they may not be right. They may or may not realized in the context of the results, and that's totally okay. So, not because you may see a particular result being predicted does not mean that you can't share against the result. That is totally fine. We just ask that you share your views respectfully. And especially if you're going to call in, just share. And in the chat, just keep it real and respectful so everyone can share. All right. So that is definitely important. Ovi, I'm not sure if you want to share anything here at this point.
Yes, for sure. I want to underscore what you're saying. We definitely we want this space to be a space where we can share comfortably. So we are making our predictions based on the information that is available to us, and you might see things different from your perspective, your point of view, and you might think about it and might have other predictions based on your knowledge, and that is quite fine here. So what we want to do, we want to put the information, the facts together and use those facts to make informed decisions or predictions in this case, and that's what we're looking forward to do. So yes, we might differ, but the goal is that we want to make informed decisions whenever we have that opportunity, and that's what we are working here toward. So yeah, make sure that you tell us what is happening in your neck of the wood whenever it is your constituency that we're dealing with. We would like to know what is happening in your constituency because the data does not cover everything. We cannot capture everything in the data that we have, but we know that you have lived experiences and you know exactly how your member of parliament, the politicians in your area, how they are performing, and that would be good information to add to what we have here. So as we go through, just bear in mind that that's what we want. As we said, respect. This channel is built on respect, and we expect that you are going to come forward respectfully, and we're going to be respecting you right throughout. So let's just see what is happening here, and you can also put your prediction in the chat so that we can see what you're thinking. Share your views in the chat so that we can be informed about stuff that we might not have, seen or explored. So we can have some fulsome discussion as it relates to these parishes and the constituencies within them.
For sure. And on that note, I just want to add that we were not able to access the official nominated list or the official list with the nominated candidates. And so, that has significantly impacted our predictions somewhat, especially for one of the key, I would say, constituencies this evening. So it may be that some of these results are predictions, I should say, we may, revisit if the need arises, right? And so again, we are using data from ECJ and also other factors that we're aware of, and again, we do not have all the context, we do not have all the information, and Ovi made a very good point. We do not have the lived experience of all the constituencies, all right? We just live in one little area, perhaps one little division, and maybe our experience in that particular division is not even reflective of the entire constituency, but we try to keep ourselves, as best as possible, informed by what is happening on the ground. And so, again, we're here to share with you guys. So, welcome one, welcome all. If you're just tuning in, please do not be afraid to hit the like button, hit the subscription button as we continue to grow stronger together. KJ, welcome. Zahim, welcome, welcome. All right, so let's now move into Hanover Western. All right, so in the context of Hanover Western, and my apologies if I am not calling the names of these communities or divisions well, you just let me know because I am here to learn. I do not come to you knowing everything, so I'm here to learn. All right, so Hanover Western, we have four electoral divisions. All right, so four divisions: Green Island, Cardwell, Riverside, and Lucy. All right, so four divisions. All right, and so sometimes you will hear that a particular division, they will vote a particular way for a particular candidate. And so the data that we get from ECJ, that data can help us in that context. And now on screen, you have the two candidates who will be, and this is to the best of our knowledge, all right, and the information that is available to us. All right, so we have two candidates here who will be running in the upcoming general elections. All right, for the PNP, we have Heather Miller Bennett, and for the people, that's for the People's National Party. And for the Jamaica Labour Party, we have Tamika Davis. All right, so two candidates. And let us know if you know these people. So if you're in Hanover Western, let me know if you're seeing these people around. When do you see them? Let me know who is working from who is not working. All right, so in the context of our predictions, we go all the way back to 2007 and in the context of the results that we're looking at. And so we're looking at four election periods. All right, so we go 2007, 2011, 2016, and 2020. And guys, it's a lot of work, to put this together, to look at the information. And then Ovi and I, we have been going back and forth. So the focus here will be on the main political parties, the two main parties, the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party. All right, so when we look at the results for 2007, as you can see on screen there, Lucy, the JLP won that division. All right, and we could just say about, about 500 votes, if so much, but there-ish, close enough. All right, and then we have Riverside. They won this one, and Cardwell was very close, but the PNP, Ian Ailes, got that. Green Island, I want you to take a note of Green Island. All right, so Green Island, this was a significant win for the PNP in the context of this division. And you can almost say, by looking at the 2007 results, right, that, Green Island was significant in the context of the outcome, in the context of the PNP winning this constituency. And if you look at the votes, right, 7313 and the JLP's 7140, it's just about 173 votes that separates the two parties. So this was a pretty close election, you could say. It was close enough in the context of, both parties. But for sure, Island here was very significant in the context of the win for the People's National Party. Ovi, over to you. Talk to us.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. Green Island there with that almost 1,000 extra, well, 1,000 plus votes over, that Ian Hill got over Donovan Hamilton, that definitely swung everything here for the PNP this time. But as was said, we have to look at the final count as well, and it shows that there's not much difference between the numbers, the votes in at the end there, and if the JLP were to do some more work in Green Island, then they could, literally get this one. But, that's what is happening here. That Green Island, electoral division weighed in heavily here.
All right, fantastic there. And let me just take a quick look in the chat to make sure I am not missing anyone. Welcome, welcome. And Marva is saying hello to everyone on the platform. Hello to you, Marva. And guys, you're here. I'm not seeing the likes moving. So close that X and hit the thumbs up button. Hit the subscription button and join us in the chat. All right. So, and in a little bit, as we do last evening, after we share this information, we're going to open the phone, the WhatsApp line to take a few quick calls. But given the number of constituencies that we're doing, we're going to ask you to keep it to just about a minute and 30 seconds there so we can get as many calls as possible in the limited time. All right, so in the context of 2011, all right, take note, the same candidates in 2007 for the JLP and the PNP. So we have Donovan and Ian here. And this time, the Jamaica Labour Party, they got Lucy, 2,752, Riverside, 1,459. Cardwell went to the PNP 1823 and look again. Here, Green Island 3083, all right, 3083. So right now, you recognize that the PNP they increased their lead, or I guess the gap. They widened the gap here in the context of the result in the 2011 general elections. And so again, remember I asked you to pay keen attention to Green Island, all right, because that is very significant for the PNP. It's like a system, a support system, for the PNP there. And they have pretty much increased their support was strengthened in this 2011 election. And Ovi,
Yes, for sure. That Green Island division there was they came out in their numbers in that 2011 election, and they outvoted the JLP by some quite a vidla margin there. And that was the determining factor. And we cannot underscore enough the value of the Green Island division to the PNP. And for them to do well in this constituency, they need to ensure that they maintain that strength in that division. So if we break it down, four divisions and two to the JLP, two to the PNP, but that one just stands out there with those 3,000 plus votes, and that's what got the PNP over the edge there, and to a commanding win in 2011. So that's definitely a division that we need to pay keen attention to in this election coming up. Coming back over to you.
all right, fantastic. So that was 2011. And over to 2016. All right, we look here, Lucy, for the People's National Party. And now we have a new candidate for the Jamaica Labour Party, Brian Wallace. But, Ian Hales is still the candidate here. So 2091, and they won the Lucy division. Riverside was won by the Jamaica Labour Party, but not a significant gap or win there for that division, very close. Cardwell for the PNP, then again look at Green Island for the PNP. Now, the last election, Green Island was 3,083, right, in the context of the votes. Now we're seeing a dip here, 2,357, but still it was significant, still significant in determining the winner of the general elections in 2016, Ian Hales for the People's National Party. Avi, over to you.
Yes, definitely the Green Island division they're representing well. But I'm going to look at this from another point of view. We can look at the final, the total number of votes too, and you can see that there is a significant closing in the gap between both parties, despite the fact that Green Island dominance, PNP and Green Island dominance was quite evident. And one other thing that we can pick up too, with the dwindling in numbers, it could be a case where Ian Hales is losing the support of, people in his constituency. Because when we look on it, Brian Wallace just came in and the difference was, just over 1,000. Before that, we had like 2,000 or so difference in the total number of votes. So that showed that something is happening in the constituents as it relates to PNP not having that full dominance in terms of the overall score. So that's what I picked up from the information that is here. And it shows that JLP is making gains on the PNP in this constituency. So coming back over to you.
For sure. Great point there. Great point there in the context of, the JLP, gaining in that context. So 2020 was definitely significant for the Jamaica Labour Party. And so, as you can see here, Lucy, that is, you could perhaps say, let's go back. So, Lucy there for the PNP. Lucy is one of those swing. You could perhaps say that, a swing, but more likely that the JLP, they're going to take Lucy. All right, so let's go back to 2020. So the JLP, they got Lucy and a significant enough win here in that division over the PNP. And it's the same PNP candidate, but a new JLP candidate that entered this election. All right, and in Riverside, the JLP got that. Cardwell, the JLP got that. But look again at Green Island. PMP still strong in Green Island, but we recognize, as shared earlier, that the support system is weakening somewhat in Green Island. So if we look here, and we could say, if we want to say 2020 might be an outlier in that context, but we could go to other elections to just look at the support system. All right. And you would notice too that with the exception of 2011, Green Island, continues to dwindle. And that is very significant. That division is very significant for the People's National Party. So here, though, the winner was Tamika Davis, and this was pretty much about 1,029 votes from my quick mathematical calculation there. So, Ovi, I'm going to up over to you.
Yes, and the trend proved true in the 2020 elections where the JLP was able to take this seat, you know, after four elections. It's the first time they were, well, based on what we have looked on for the past four elections, they were able to take it in 2020. And it was showing in the numbers that the strongholds were being reduced in terms of the support for the PNP, and I guess Ian Hales lost the support, or lost the support of some of the people who would normally provide him with their votes, and that's why that seat was switched over from the PNP to the JLP. And you mentioned nicely that there was a 1,000 plus difference too. So it shows that the JLP is making some significant inroads in the electoral divisions. And again, we're looking at Green Island, which is the electoral division that definitely had a tough influence in past elections. They coming they're now under 2,000 votes. So at one point it was up to 3,000 plus votes, and then it has been petering off. So that's probably the main cause of the loss for Ian Hills and the win for Tamika Davis. Coming back over to you.
Fantastic. So we are close to 100 people. Obviously, I don't know how many likes you're seeing on your end, but I don't even want to call the number because I'm not even seeing 10. So
So
guys,
let me check.
that is
Yeah,
not good.
I'm just seeing three from my side. Guys, let me tell us what the number of likes you're seeing from your
Your
side.
side. Yeah, like, come on, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscription button. We're over 100 strong. All right, the easiest ways to support us is by liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. And if you want to get super in the chat, there's a goal in the chat there. You can definitely support our goal. So now is the time. Oh, we're not quite there yet. So this is just highlighting the 2020 results for Hanover Western. So Tamika got 54.7% of the votes, and Mr. Ian Hills, so let me just go back, Mr. Mika Davis got 54.7% of the votes, and Mr. Ian Hills got 45.3% of the votes. All right, so on that note, and in the context of this constituency, Hanover Western, who can vote? So, based on the information that was available to us in the context of, eligibility, so people who can vote, all right, we have 34,819 people were eligible to vote in this constituency. Ovia, I'm not sure if you want to share anything here.
No, you can go ahead.
All right. So, what is going to happen now is that we want to hear from you. So, we have been sharing. So, before we reveal our predicted winner for this constituency, we want to hear from you. So, we're going to open the phone line. And again, guys, once you're calling, please ensure that your YouTube feed, the volume is all the way down to zero, or you mute it or something, because it will affect, it will give us a feedback. All right, so that is definitely important. And remember, we're keeping the calls pretty short this evening. All right, so just some quick calls. They should not exceed
All the way
2 minutes.
down to zero, or you mute it or something.
All right, so I wasn't following my instructions there. All right, so we keeping the calls very quick. Should not exceed 2 minutes because we have, a lot more constituencies to go through. So we're doing Hanover, and then we're going to go over to Westmoreland, and we're doing the call-in section for each. All right, so we want to give everybody a fair opportunity. So let me just put that WhatsApp number in the chat. Please do not call if you're going to be disrespectful. All right. And remember, we don't disrespect anyone, we don't defame anyone, we keep it real and respectful. I don't want to, we just want to know who you believe is going to win. Just tell us that, and let us know what's happening in your constituency. The WhatsApp number is in the chat. It's pinned at the top as well. So now is the time to give us a call. Let us know, your views, who will win, or if you'd like, you can also share in the chat and let us know who do you believe is going to win this constituency. And it's okay if you're guessing, and it's okay if you don't know. Just let us know. All right. And it's okay if you say someone and it turns out that that is not the case, because, again, everybody is predicting because we won't be sure until the election day. And so it is important for you to go out there and exercise your democratic right. Because if you don't vote, someone else, as Ovi would say, is going to vote for you. So you're going to still have a member of parliament, and you're still going to have a prime minister. So it's important for you to go out there and exercise your democratic right to vote. All right, so Ovi, we're not hearing from them, Who you believe is going to call? I'm only one call away. Who's gonna call? And if you don't know by now, I like to sing but I can't sing. If you don't know by now. All right, Ovi, talk to me. I don't know who is going to call. Come on, guys. It's really a safe space. Even if you just want to let us know that, in Hanover, such and such person are working and we think this person is going to get it, we want to hear from you. Ovi, the chat is pretty quiet. I don't know
Yeah,
if.
for sure. Yeah, guys, let us know what is happening in the chat, or you can always call in. I need somebody to tell us how much likes you're seeing from your side, so we know exactly how much we need. We want at least 100 likes tonight. So if you haven't hit the like button yet, now's a good time to do so.
Yeah, do that,
Uh,
and somebody just call us. Come on, you can talk for 2 minutes and less or less. Give us a call and let us know who you believe is going to take this one. We need at least a call before we reveal our, prediction. Soji, Carlton Lovelace is in the chat. Welcome and big up yourself. All right, and Soji is saying, guys, you need to like up the show, everyone. Please, pretty please. All right, you need to like, guys, and let us just continue to grow stronger together. Hello, Carla. You live.
Hello, what's up?
Soji, what, go
I'm
on.
just watching. I'm just watching your thing on your hobby. Bless up, tell you bless up hobby, tell you heal him up for me. And so yeah, what you talking about the Hanover seat?
Yes.
Okay, in Hanover, no why? Those seats are pretty, because I don't know who to say to win. I don't want guess. I don't really know anything much about them, because those seats is a PMP area, so sometimes I don't know what's going on down there. So I don't have a clue what's getting on down in that side of the world. It's just Hanover you doing tonight?
Hanover Westmoreland.
Okay, all right. Yeah, do this one first. I hear them say something, I don't know who will win. Me, some people say this person will win, that person will win. So I don't know how to predict, because I don't know much. I was watching the trend, what they said. If the JLP can win those era same way and close and kick down the vote in Green Island, then they can win back.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Get you.
Yeah, as I was looking on what you were saying, if they can Windows era still lose in Windows era and cut down on Green Island, cut the vote down, they win.
Mm-hmm. That's a very good point. Yeah.
So because just watch your trend. So that's all they have to do, and and then they can win. So if they do that, they gone clear.
Okay. Big up yourself, Soji. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, me call again, but
Oh,
because we did
absolutely.
one by one.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, okay, all right, yeah.
All right. Yes, guys. So that was Soji, channel. Let me tell you, Soji, Soji know him politics, Soji know him tracks, athletics. Soji know the football. Big up Soji. Soji for every season. Rain, sunshine, football, politics, every season. Ovi, over to you. Tucker, welcome, Tucker. The number is pinned at the top of the chat, Tucker. So if you want to give us a quick call, look at the top of the chat there. You will see the number for the WhatsApp line. All right. So yes, guys, would love to hear from you, and let us just continue to keep it real and respectful as we continue to grow and build this platform where everyone has a voice. All right. And we want to stay true to that. And for us to do that, we need to maintain this safe and respectful place. Ovi, I'm not hearing you. What's going on?
I am right here. Just want to
Me
say
no
big up
wonder.
to
Me no
yeah,
wonder
man.
if you
Me,
God left me.
me no gone away.
Where you stay? You did the
The
same
day
way?
of the day of the yeah.
All
So
right.
I'm right here. Big up yourself, Soji. And guys, Soji has been one of the persons who have been with us from day zero. We could say he has been really truly here for us and have always been communicating with us and providing some wonderful information, valuable information. So
All
guys,
right, let me
continue
take
to
this caller. There's
no
a
problem. Go
call
ahead.
coming in. Hello, caller. You are live.
Hi, good night. How are you?
Good night. I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. Oh, I see your program is for persons who are in the western end of the island.
It's for everybody all over the world.
Oh, okay, because I'm calling from the east of Jamaica.
It doesn't matter where you're calling from. We want to hear from you too. So, where in the east are
Okay.
you? Which parish?
Well, I'm from St. Mary, West St. Mary to be
Oh,
exact. The constituency of Western St. Mary.
okay. We soon reach up at St. Mary, no, but you should have tell us that. We should have know what St. Mary you come from. All right, big up. Welcome to everybody tuning in from St. Mary. So, talk to us. I don't know if you know anything about what's going on in Hanover, but talk to us.
Well, I just want to say I'm very excited about this election. I can't wait to see the results. Since following it from 2007, since I've been an adult, I think this election is just so unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
1 minute you think the PNP has the edge, another minute the JLP seems to be coming back. So, I'm really can't wait to see what the final numbers will be.
For sure.
In Hanover, well, For the West, I noticed that in the local government elections, the PNP managed to grab back Hanover and Westmoreland, and I see that the JLP is still, having their hopes up that they can grab maybe 2 or 3 seats there. But I think it's going to be very difficult for the JLP given that there's no COVID. Um, And there is no, the PNP seem to be unified, and the PNP seem to be, they really want this. So it's gonna be difficult for them in Hanover and Westmoreland, I think.
Okay.
In St. James, I think they have a shot. The PNP has a shot at Southern St. James and
You have to be
Hanover
careful.
Central.
Me know why you start let out all of the juicy stuff about St. James and so you have to go make sure so you
Okay,
subscribe
okay.
and call you back for tell you the things then about Nikisha Burchell and Oma Davis. I mean why you have to call me back.
Yeah,
Me
man,
know.
sure, definitely.
All right, thank you so
Definitely.
much for calling us and enough love and respect. Blessings.
No problem. Take it easy.
All right, you too. All right, you see our callers, they are very much, aware of what is happening on the ground, and for sure, Ovi, they're going to tell you about everything, So, yes, guys, so you see, it's not hard to give us a call. All right, and Marva is saying, I believe that based on the prediction, I believe that the PNP, so Marva is thinking that the PNP is going to take this one. Ovi, I'm coming over to you. Do you have any comments
Yeah, just
before
want to
we?
say big up to the caller and shows that he has lots of knowledge as it relates to the politics in the country. And a special big up to St. Mary, that's awesome, and we're let him know that we're heading toward St. Mary. We're gonna get there one of these evenings. So keep tuned. Make sure you keep tuned and make sure you like, subscribe, so that you know when we are coming on again, so we can hear from you. And let us know what's happening in your neck of the woods in the chat. Do you think your politicians are doing well in your constituents? We'd love to know what's happening there. So yes, and somebody please, I'm asking you, let us know how we're doing for likes, because I'm not sure the likes are reflected right. They are correctly on my side. So let me
I would
know
want to think
what
the
is
same
happening.
too.
Yes. All right.
I would want to think the same too. All right, Ovi, I don't know if you want to take us through, I guess just to share some of the factors, or do you want us to reveal the predicted winner and then we start to share, some of the factors that we took into consideration.
I think we should reveal first.
All right,
What do
guys.
you
So
say in the chat, guys? Reveal
should we
first
reveal
or
first or should we talk about the factors? Reveal our factors. Let me see you guys comment in the chat. Reveal our factors. Come on. Let's see who is listening. Reveal our factors. Which one you want first? Let us know in the chat. All right, not seeing any comments coming in yet. Reveal our factors. Let us know, let us know, let us know. Well, Avi, I don't know if they want to know anything this evening. The chat is so quiet. Come on, guys. Reveal our factors. Do you want us to reveal first, or you want to hear some of the factors that we took into consideration? Well, I am convinced that my chat isn't working well. Perhaps that's the case.
mine as well? So, guys, hit us up in the chat. Let us know what you think. We really looking forward to hearing from you. Remember, it's a safe space. You can always communicate with us, and we're not here to bash anyone in any way or form. We're here to have,
All right.
responsible.
Gavor is saying factors. Carlton is saying reveal. So let's see who is going to be the tiebreaker. Gavor is just joining. Welcome, Gavor. We need one more comment there to determine whether we reveal or we share factors. So let's see. Let's see who is going to comment. We're just waiting. I'm waiting on your response. Come on, guys. Come on. It's taking a while, but I'm not leaving. I see reveal, but I need somebody else. Blessings, Gavor. Yes, told you. I see the reveal, but there's somewhat Gavor shared factors, but we need one person to break this. So we're at a tie now. And reveal. All right. So reveal, reveal, reveal. All right. Let's go. We're going to reveal. So our predicted winner is Tamika Davis, Miss Tamika Davis. We're predicting that Miss Tamika Davis is going to win this one. And let me just tell you again, if you're just tuning in, it's just a prediction. We're not too sure how it's going to go. And we have a process here, and we decide that we're coming to you with one voice. Not Ovi is going to tell you who is his pick, and I'm going to share who is my pick. We go through our process, and that is why it took us so long for us to get on here this evening, because it has been back and forth. All right, so Ovi, you can start us out in the context of, some of the considerations that went into this predicted winner decision.
Yeah, so while we were reviewing the information, we realized that this particular constituents, the PNP was, they had a strong hold on it, but over time you could see that the JLP was making progress on in this constituents, and it has been something that is gradual until the last election as well. And we're predicting that this trend will continue, and the JLP will take this seat. Coming over to you.
Yeah, for sure. So, we've looked at the data and we look also at, and that we go to the local government elections at times when there is really a need to do that. So we look at all things considered. One of the factors, too, that we looked at was the fact that Ian Hales decided to leave this constituency. Now, if that wasn't a factor for, Ian Hales in the context of whether or not he's going to win back this constituency, I don't think they would try to go for, in quotation marks, a safe seat in Westmoreland. And so, in that context, too, we had, conversations about that and what was happening, and the fact that, they were predominantly relying on Green Island as their support system, and Green Island, that they would have gotten at least over 2,000 votes, that has cut significantly. And so the margin has widened. So the gap is definitely bigger. And, I guess Ian Hales, in the context of that move, is saying, hey, I don't feel, this confident to face back the electorate in this constituency. So that too played a part in this context. And if this was a seat that the PNP, they were thinking, we would see one of, their giants coming in and coming. Because if you look at how they position, certain candidates, they try to position, and I don't want to get into the politics of things, especially with the PNP, because I don't want you guys to think. But I just want to mention this and just touch it and go. Just go back to Rise and 1P if you guys are aware of that. And then you perhaps would understand, some of what I am trying to say here without saying it, And so that part was there as a factor in our conversation in the context of how, a member of parliament was won this seat for so many election periods, has decided, I don't think I can win this one. It's not as if this person is out of the politics. This person is still in the politics. And based on what we have heard on the platform or the campaigning, we sense to, because he was promised a portfolio. I believe it's regarding water, and I don't know what else is in that. And so, like, he could be in Hanover and still get that portfolio if the PNP believe, that they have this seat the way we're expecting it. So, guys, we don't do these predictions lightly. And again, we come to you as one voice. All right. So, we're not going to split. So, that's that for our predicted winner. And let me just check in the chat here. And O'Neill, welcome. Mario, welcome. Common Sense, welcome. And I see your point there for sure. And universities are usually involved. So, all right, so let's keep going. We are going to move on to Hanover Eastern. All right, so we're in the West. Now we're moving to the East. So, in the context of Hanover Eastern, all right, we have 3 electoral divisions. So, Sandy Bay, Hopewell, and Chester Castle. All right, in the context of, All right, the candidates. So we have two candidates. And again, if you're just tuning in, welcome, welcome. We were not able to access the official list of nominated candidates, so we're trying to use as best as possible the information that is available to us, and that may be from the political parties. So if you see any mistake, just understand that we weren't able to access, what we really wanted to access. All right. So again, welcome, welcome. If you have not yet hit the like button, what are you waiting for? You need to hit that like button now. So to the best of our knowledge, the candidate for the Jamaica Labour Party is Dave Brown. All right. And to the best of our knowledge, the candidate for the People's National Party is Andrea Perkis. All right, so again, welcome and let's go on. Ovi, I'm going to come over to you for the 2007 results. Do you want to start us out or?
Sure. Yes, so in Hanover Eastern, we can see what happened there. So we had Donald Duncan, DK Duncan, as he's commonly known, going up against Barrington Gray. And in the Chester Castle division, we can see that, JLP took that one as well as the Hopewell, and, PNP taking the the Sandy Bay electoral division. So that's what happened. If you look at the scores too in this election, there's just a difference of 10. So it's pretty close in these in this constituents in terms of the number of votes. And that we can look at Hopewell as one of the strong areas for the JLP, and they got over 2,000 votes there, and might be one of the places we need to watch in terms of how things progress going forward. But it was the JLP who took this one in 2007.
No, the PNP. So it was the
Sorry, yes, the
PNP.
PNP. Yeah, my bad. The PNP. My bad. Yes,
It was the
the PNP.
PNP who took this one, all right, in 2007, as you can see, and as you heard from Ovi, just 10 votes there. So pretty close. So we know about 10. We're going to hear about another number too, very close. All right, so here we go for the 2011 results, all right, DK Duncan won the Sandy Bay division. All right, so look now, the JLP, they won Chester Castle, Hopewell, but Sandy Bay, and look at the margin there in Sandy Bay, pretty much a little over 1,000 votes. All right, so that was significant in the context of the win for the PNP. Ovi, I'm not sure. Do you want to share anything else here?
Well, it's clear that that Sandy Bay electoral division weighed in heavily, and if you look on the difference in terms of the persons who voted in Sandy Bay for both parties, it's almost the same difference in terms of the that is like about 1,000 votes different, and that's what kept the PNP in this seat. That gave them the win in this seat because the JLP won the Hopewell and Chester Castle, you know, those electoral divisions, and still wasn't able to get the seat. So the Sandy Bay division is really one to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Sandy Bay is definitely important, but in the context of Hopewell, you would notice that the PNP they kind of closed in on the JLP in the context of, or perhaps not even, perhaps it's just about the same. But we'll definitely keep an eye on Hopewell there. But for sure, Sandy Bay definitely important. Now in 2016, all right, it was a significant for the JLP, and just look at this now. They won Chester Castle, Hopewell, but not Sandy Bay. All right, so Sandy Bay remains that support system for the People's National Party. So, what the results here? So, they won with just a little over 300 votes. All right, about 340 votes for this win for the JLP Dave Brown. And so, what this tells us, we're looking at, Chesterfield, Chester Castle, and Opal for the JLP. And we noticed that, they have gotten better in Chesterfield. You could say they have gained some ground in Chesterfield for sure. So that has proven to be somewhat significant for the JLP, you would say, here in 2016. So they have gained a little bit there. Hopewell, they got this with, you could say, about 700 votes. You could say there is 700 and a little bit there in that context. And if we should go back, you would see that perhaps that was one of their better wins there, because you look there for 2011, we're seeing 2231 compared to 2717, and 2007, that was also you would say a big win there. So the JLP, they have worked up their way very well in Hopewell. Sandy Bay now, the support system remains for the PNP, but look, this is 2487. The last election in the election before, it was 2951. All right, and so we're seeing at points dipping, increasing, and so here when it kind of dipped somewhat in Sandy Bay, that worked out very well for the Jamaica Labour Party. So they won with just about 340 votes. Ovi, do you have anything you'd like to share?
Yes, for sure. And, just looking at the results, the elections in this era, the numbers, the final, the total number of votes continue to be within 500, I would say, 500 or less. And that, I think that makes this seat pretty closely contested. And as you mentioned, there are certain areas that, the Sandy Bay for the PNP has always been strong, and JLP countering that with the other two divisions, the Chester Castle and the Hopewell. So it's important, guys, that even when you're living in a constituency where your party is not constituents, but electoral division where your party is doing really well, you need everyone to go out and support your party, because sometimes if it is overwhelming in terms of your support for your electoral division, it helps to nullify the other party's strong dominance in order to get you closer to winning. So sometimes you might be in your little area and you're saying, boy, I'm not going to vote because you might be intimidated, or in any way or form, you just didn't decide to vote. It is having a ripple effect, and goes back down to who will form leadership for you in your constituents and overall in your country.
All right, fantastic. So on that note, we go to 2020. So 2020, all right, we have here the Jamaica Labour Party. So Dave Brown again winning, all right, Chester Castle, and this was a big win, a significant win. Hopewell, you could say pretty significant there with a little bit over 1,000 votes. But again, Sandy Bay, they lost but gained somewhat in Sandy Bay. And we can also think about the fact that perhaps COVID 2054. But if we look at Sandy Bay in 2016, 2487, compared to Sandy Bay in 2011 without COVID, 2951, we recognize that Sandy Bay was kind of dipping in terms of the JLP. They were closing in on that gap, right? So again, we recognize that for the PNP to be the winner, they have to go do very well in Sandy Bay. And so here, the Jamaica Labour Party, they won in 2020, all right, 5,926 compared to the PNP's 4,420. So would you say that they knock Wavell Hines for six of it?
Well,
Or was that like
uh,
was that a run out, or
well,
a dunks?
here. What I like the way you, if it's knocking Wavell Hines for six. Wavell Hines did a little bit of bowling, but I don't think that would be his stronger suit, so to speak. But Wavell Hines, a renowned Jamaican West Indies batsman. But I would say they run him out. It's a run out. So
I
I would
really
say
run out.
he, yeah,
Are you saying pun intended or no pun
yeah,
intended? Because
definitely pun intended.
he's no longer
Definitely.
there. He's up in
So
Clarendon, but we'll get there when we get there.
yeah, so definitely a run out there for him. But you can see the dominance here with Dave Brown and the JLP, taking care of their business in their strong electoral divisions in Chester Castle and in Hopewell. And despite the fact that the PNP still they held on to their stronghold in Sandy Bay, it was just over a 300 or about 300 votes. So that wasn't enough to sway the election, and that's what happened there. So again, it could be a case where they are, losing touch with the people who supports them the most in terms of those electoral division. So, they have work to do, I would say, for the election coming up.
All right, fantastic, fantastic. So now is the time. Okay, I'm always jumping to that section because I just want to hear from you guys. So in the context of the 2020 election in Hanover Eastern, you're seeing the percentage on your screen there. So Mr. Dave Brown got 57.3% of the votes and Mr. Wavell Hines got 42.7% of the votes. In the context of this constituency and the upcoming general elections, who can vote? So, who are the people who are eligible to vote? And based on the information that we got from ECJ, 26,533 people are eligible to vote in that constituency. So now is the time that we want to hear from you. Who do you believe is going to win this? So we ask you to keep the calls, do not exceed 2 minutes because we need to go out west, Westmoreland. All right. Mario is saying I think Opwell took a turn. And Carlton Soji is asking you guys as much as we're asking you to hit the like button. All right, come on, man. Let's get the likes going. And again, the WhatsApp number is pinned at the top of the chat. If you're going to call in, we ask you to keep it real and respectful. Don't bash anyone, don't disrespect, don't belittle, don't defame. All right. So now is the time to call us, and we would love to hear from you. So, who's going to call us and let us know their pick for Hanover Eastern? Is it going to be Dave or Andrea? We want to hear from you guys, so give us a call. The WhatsApp number is at the top of the chat there. Yes, Ovi, talk to us.
Yes, for sure. That's the important question to answer here,
Get
and
this
it's
call. Hello, Carla Soji. You're live.
Yeah. Well, as I look at this, well, the guy, the the JLP guy have it all to lose because all you have to do, work on his vote and see depends on how they do their canvas and do their work. If he work as a sitting MP, if him doing work and work on his and know his voters and numerate these people, then he can win back. If he don't, the PMP can win that. But all have to do keep down Sandy Bill. I'll try win Sandy Bill, and then he can win. It's simple. All have to do if you know in politics, you know in weak spot and work on those places. So it's all up to where in machinery that's here. All right, so that's how I see it.
All right, big up yourself. Thanks for calling and letting us know.
Yeah, man, bless up, Bobby.
All right, blessings. Yes, obviously you heard.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Once
That's
the
up to you
machinery
to.
is there on the ground for Dave, Soji is predicting that he should, win. It's his to lose.
For sure, for sure, for sure. Thank you for your views. So we really appreciate you being here and contributing as well. As usual to the platform. But
And
he
in
made
the
some
chat,
well.
Mario is sharing that Andrea is going to take it for the PNP. Thanks for sharing, Mario. Yes, Avi, go ahead.
Yeah, so some good points coming across there, and it's interesting. I heard Soji saying that they just need to take Sandy Bay. If JLP takes Sandy Bay,
It's
then
go.
a done deal. It's
Yeah.
a done deal for sure. So, they will have to know they know what they have to do, and I'm sure they are privy to this information as well. And
Yeah.
they have people on the ground there to do the work. So it's going to be a good one to watch. But yes.
For sure. All right. So factors are revelation. Guys, let us know in the chat. Should we reveal or should we share our factors first? So we're waiting for that in the chat. Factors or revelation. And guys, make sure to hit the subscription button. All right. So hit that subscription button and let us just continue to grow stronger together. All right. So you want to ensure that you're hitting the subscription button. It's free. All right. We're not charging you to subscribe or to like. So come on, let's go. All right. So ensure that you do that. All right. So we're waiting for you guys in the chat to direct us. Should we share the factors? Should Ovi share the factors or should we reveal? All right. We're going to take the first response. So let's see. So we're just waiting for the chat. I don't know of it, but the chat is so quiet and we have quite a few people here for sure. And if you're popping in and popping out, hit the like button and the subscription button. And if you're not too sure what is happening, let us know. O'Neill says we're to reveal. Here we go. So our predicted winner is Dave Brown. So we're predicting that the JLP will get, and this would be his third term if he wins. And again, it's just a prediction. So, Ovi, over to you to share some, you know, considerations in the context of this prediction.
Yes, we are definitely going with the JLP on this one. You know, Mr. Brown has been there, for been the incumbent for a few, you know, for a few elections now. And what we have noticed with the results over time is that they have maintained their stronghold. And what they have done well is to negate the support that PNP gets from Sandy Bay. So if you notice that Sandy Bay, the difference in the votes for JLP and PNP, that number has constantly been on the decline over the past couple of elections. And I think he's in a good position to get a three-peat, as they would say, in this constituent. And the thing is, on the other hand, is that, the PNP, they have been switching the candidates for a while. Last time it was Wavell Hines, now it's Andrea. So it's not so settled in that era there, and you know it's going to be hard for. I think it's going to be challenging for PNP to take this seat. They will have to find a way to connect back with Sandy Bay and get those voters out to support them again, and work on all those other areas that they're not so strong in.
Fantastic, fantastic. That was well said. I have nothing more to add to that. Yeah, so there you have it. Our predicted winner is Dave Brown. Marva is predicting PNP. And Shelly, welcome. Shelly is saying one Dave Brown. All right, so we're predicting that Dave Brown is going to take this one. Guys, if you have not yet hit the like button and the subscription button, please do that. All right. So we are here every evening as best as we can. And of course, after deliberating, because this does not come easy. And that is why we're on a little bit later because we go back and forth. Marva is saying, Andrea. All right, we go back and forth in the context of getting, and we share different views again, so let us just move forward here. So now we're going to Westmoreland, and let me tell you, Lord, this one was really, it took a lot from us. Even though there is one that we have a question mark about, but we want to, but we had to select somebody. So we just leave it. Well, we have really, really, we have some that are, but we have one who really, 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 it was just a big, 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 like, but we had to make a decision. We had to make a decision because, again, we're coming to you with one voice. And we're not going to tell you about any toss up because it's just a prediction and it's okay if we get it wrong. You, the people, come and said, all right, I did say this. Remember in the voices, I said so and so. Yes, man, that is fine because at the end of the day, we don't know who is going to win until election night. And please note that we'll be here live bringing you the results, and we can talk, we can laugh, we can cry. And at the end of the night, we're still Jamaican together. All right. So, all right. So again, all right. Gavor is saying I agree. And I'm not sure what you're agreeing to there, but if you want to share in the chat, you can let us know. So, in the context of Westmoreland, we have three constituencies, or three seats, as perhaps you would hear them refer to them as. So, we have Westmoreland Western, Westmoreland Central, and Westmoreland Eastern. All right, so we have three MPs from Westmoreland. So, Westmoreland is the parish that they usually dub PNP land. All right. So it was difficult going in here. And I believe of it we kind of start out with some really hard ones, but we're gonna get through them anyways. All right, so let's begin by looking at Westmoreland. And this is Westmoreland. All right, so in this constituency, we have five electoral divisions. So five divisions, right? We have Negril, Sheffield, Little London, Grange Hill, and Friendship. All right, so that's Westmoreland for you. In the context of the candidates, again, we did not access the official list of nominated candidates, so we are utilizing, to the best of our knowledge, what we believe is true based on what the parties have put out or based on what we have searched from the media and all that, all right? And Maria is saying, laugh out loud, one Jamaica. You're laughing about my crying, laughing, whatever it is. We're in this together for sure, Mario. Okay, you're agreeing with my prediction. Thanks for sharing that, Gavor. All right, so in the context of this Westmoreland Western, all right, we have Ian Hills, who is coming over from Hanover, and we have Garfield James. I hope I got that right. For the JLP, so Mr. Ian Hills for the PNP and Mr. Garfield James for the JLP. Now, this constituency, all right, when we get into the results. So, let's just move on. So, in the context of the 2007 results, all right, Wickham McNeil, all right, was pretty much the person there for the PNP. And we have noticed here that they would sweep all five. All right, so it's with this one, you could say Little Under Negril. Negril is very strong. It's like their support system. But as you can see here, clear winner, 8,227 votes. Ovi, over to you.
Yeah, so the PNP, getting through in all of those electoral divisions in 2007 and showing their dominance in the election there. And, a whopping, you could say, 3,000 votes. That's a huge victory margin by Wicker McNeil then in the 2007 elections. So, PNP just ensuring that they are, doing well in certain the electoral division. The Negril division is one that we should take heed attention to, and they did well also in Sheffield. So those two are strong electoral divisions for PNP, and they have done well in the others as well, and that's why they were able to take that constituency in the 2007 elections. Coming back over to you. So I'm not hearing my co-host.
Oh,
So
my apologies. I was muted. Thanks for saying that.
uh,
Okay, so with 2011 now, we notice again, similar to what happened in 2007, by virtue of Wickham McNeil winning all the electoral divisions for the People's National Party, and another, solid win there, 8,940 votes. We look again and we see Negril as a big support system for the PNP. Sheffield, to some degree there. We see Little London stepping in there. So again, big support system. Negril is one of those areas that we are zooming in on. Ovi, over to you.
yes, another compelling performance there by the PNP via Wicker McNeil, and shows that they they are very popular, and the voters, they are in total support of the PNP then, and it shows that they have done what they were supposed to do in those electoral divisions to take them. But let's see if that continues or there's a change in any way or form. Because when you look at the end results, they won with 3,000 plus votes, and that was similar to the 2007 election. So I would say this is almost on par with the previous year as they continue to stamp their dominance on this constituency. Coming over to you.
Sure. All right, guys. So we're not taking the calls just yet, just in a little bit. All right. So caller, we'll try to connect with you. All right. So moving on to the 2016 results. All right. So here now we see a change here. All right. So remember, we're coming from 8,000, and you're looking at 8,000 to about 5,000 something. So you're looking at sometimes significantly 3,000 difference or 2,000 high in the context of the difference. All right. So 2016, we see a turn here in the context of the results. All right. So Wike McNeil here, in the context of the division, still winning all the divisions, but it's not as strong as before. But when you zoom in on Negril, we recognize that Negril is still their support system and Sheffield, but Negril more so. But we recognize too that, the strength of that system has weakened somewhat. So yes, we have the PNP holding on to that one, but again, if you take a look at the results, you would recognize that things are changing and not necessarily how the PNP would want them to change. All right, so just to highlight that. And in the context, so here it's just about a little under 1,500 votes in the context of the difference there. Ovi, over to you.
Yes, and that 1,500 difference in terms of votes is pretty much half of what they had for the prior two elections. So it shows that the PNP is losing, I would say, the connection with their supporters. I don't know what is happening or what happened then, if it's a case where it was complacency in any way or form, but the number of votes have declined, significantly, and that's what caused the gap to close from 3,000 to about three 1,500. And it could be a case where persons were motivated enough to go out and vote as well. Not too sure exactly what happened in that regard, but the gap has been closed significantly in the 2016 elections. Coming back over to you.
All right, fantastic. Thanks for sharing that. So now over to 2020. So now 2020 was definitely significant for the Jamaica Labour Party. And, we have seen where the gap obviously was closing. And, we know about COVID, but when we look at, the support system that the PNP managed to win, that one division, it's still Negril, but look at how weakened it has gotten in this context. It has weakened so much, in this context, right? Based on what we have seen in the previous election periods. But we have shown you too that Negril was kind of dipping. All right. So when we look here at Negril, if we look at 2016, the Jamaica Labour Party, they're just getting a little over 800 of the votes there. 2011, just over 700. All right, and look at the PNP. 2007, just over 800. So you could say on average that the Jamaica Labour Party would get somewhere about 800 little bit of the votes there in Negril, right? And if we look at the PNP and Negril, so this is 17082105, then 1566, and then so you could say on average they get, perhaps I'm just working some quick maths, about 1600 or 700 on average for the 4 election periods that we're looking at. And Ovi, you're the math person, so you can definitely let me know the math, if the maths is not mathsing. All right. So, so when we look at Negril at this point, right, that for sure is significant based on, even though they held on to Negril, that for sure, recognize that that is significant. And we're also looking at the other divisions that they lost to the JLP. All right, so in this context, and even look at Sheffield, that too is significant. So here, Moreland Wilson won 6,148 to 5,095. So obviously there, I don't know, Ovi, can you match this one out?
I think
And
you're doing well with the math here, but yes, the support
yeah,
has.
over 1,000 votes, about 1,053 votes. Yeah, you
Yeah, for
can go
sure.
ahead.
Yeah, and it was trending in that regard, and it might have been a case where Wickham McNeil had, lost the support of his strong of his supporters somewhere along the line, and I'm not sure exactly what happened. It could be a case, as I mentioned before, complacency or not touching base with the persons in the different electoral divisions. Not sure what happened there, but to be coming from a place of dominance with over 3,000 votes in 2007 to 2020, where he's down by 1,000 plus votes, show that something significant happened in that constituency. And that's the reason why I would say why the JLP took that one, as they were able to close down the stronghold, for the PNP Negril there. Not much difference between, PNP and the JLP. And that was one of the reasons there why the JLP took this one. And the JLP also making sure that they did well in all the other electoral divisions. And that's what helped them, most of all.
All right. So on that note, in the context of the results, Mr. Moreland Wilson got 54.7% and Mr. Wickham McNeil got 45.3%. All right. So let's just keep going here. In the context of Westmoreland Western, who can vote? So this means who are the people who are on the voters list? So you're registered to vote. 40,188. So that's a big total there. Again, ensure that you go out and vote, 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 vote. All right. And so I guess it's now who will win. But something that I need to point out to you guys is that the PNP, they're fielding a new candidate, somewhat of a new candidate there, and I guess the JLP somewhat. So Mr. Garfield James and Mr. Ian Ailes. So we're not seeing any, faces that we would have seen on our names on the 4 election periods that we are looking at in the context of the data. So now is the time for you to give us a quick call, less than 2 minutes, guys, because we want to go to the other constituencies or seats, and we want to hear from you. I'm trying to get into the chat here And let me just see. I don't know what's going on with my side of things. I believe I am there now. All right, so let me just take this caller.
Yeah,
You need to mute your feed, Soji. All right, Soji, you have to call us back because we're hearing everything there. All right, there you go, Soji.
Yeah.
Talk to us now.
All right. One thing. What?
You have to mute the feed, Soji. Come on, Soji. Come on.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You hear me?
Yes, but I'm hearing the feed as well.
You still hear the feed?
Go, you can't talk now.
Yeah. What I'm saying to you is, I would like you to find the thing there, the I call it the local government result, because you see James that is running, he was the councillor, he was a PMP councillor, and he switched to JLP.
Yes, and if on his seat. Yeah. Yeah. We have that, man. We'll look at that. He won he won Sheffield. I think it was Sheffield that he won. James Garfield.
Right, and then the other guy, PMP guy, that's switch again to JLP in Lukeland, and he won. So you have to look on those marching and see where out the hero step. And I think you have a good chance, but those Westmoreland is person, because it's a really PMP. They vote for PMP. They vote for PMP. But when you look at it, we come at Neil over 2 decades down there, and you don't see where it done anything. Like we give the people them water, because when they go through Orange Hill and those places, those people don't have running. They don't have pipe. Orange Hill, look up here, all those places. No running water. The people don't have to deal with pipe. So, and you have Ian Hills he was in charge of water at the time. And remember, Ian Hills, he run in Hanover, and he lost, and he don't stay with the people them. He run to Westmoreland. So if the people them down there look at that and say, why you never stay with the people them when you lost and fight? Just like how we can McNeil lay down. You do 20 years with the person, then that means that you're just running for power, win, and when you lose, you go somewhere else to try to get a safe seat where you think is a PMP seat. So the people them in Westmoreland have to look at that, and so forth.
For sure.
Because I see the Prime Minister was down there the other day, and a lady said to him, said, "Oh, I need water now." So the Prime Minister said, "Yes." How old are you? Lady said, "I'm 63 and I don't see no water down here." But at the same time, she want water now, and she was voting for PMP all this time.
All right, so who you think is going to win this one, Soji?
Well, I don't even know. I don't even know.
You see, well, I'm not put me in a hot seat tonight, so what is all right? Nobody know what to tell me.
Why me go with James? Why me go with James? It's a PMP place, but why me go with James? Him know what I do, and him campaign manager is a good guy where working friend. So, and from them can capitalize on those weakness what the PMP have. He supposed to see the weakness, know the people. I know he's gonna win sweep Sheffield, so all they have to concentrate. Try with Negril, cut down on Negril, because I think he's the coaster for Negril. I don't know.
No, it's for Sheffield. Garfield. Yeah.
Okay, and 5 if you couldn't find look at the councillor.
We do that, Soldier. We look at everything. But okay. We look at everything, man. So that's why I can tell you that James is for Sheffield.
Yeah, then no, James is for Sheffield. But I want if he can cut down the vote in Negril and continue. How many of the councillors down in that division they want? For Friendship or one, if and Grange Hill division. So if I can see, that's where I can know. But I'm going to put my money on James to win.
Okay, so I think so JLP 1-2. So I think they won Little London and Sheffield. And then Grange Hill was for the PNP, Friendship for the PNP.
Oh. Well, they have to, and then they have to look. They have to try cut down the vote in those areas. Then, if they want to win,
I know
you know.
Negril go already. Negril a PMP.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yes, please vote. Yeah, because Jackson them down there. So I know that. You know, but as long as they can cut down those vote and thing, but yeah, 40,000. Because the young youth, they know that these bank consider them people are PMP and see them family no get done and live same way. Those guys, those some of those kids don't really come out and say, listen, I'm not going to vote for you who want to vote for you know. So we have to just watch and see. But I'll go with James.
All right, Soji, big up yourself. Thanks for calling.
Good.
All right, guys. I'm looking in the chat, and guess who I see? Garmel, big up yourself. And Garmel is saying good morning, all. And is saying Hales will win. Shelly is saying Garfield. All right, James, all the way. Garmel is saying once the PNP turnout, I guess Hales is going to win. Soji is asking you guys to like up the show, so I suspect that we're not yet at 100 likes. So come on, guys. And O'Neill, okay, I see you there. Was one of the factor. That's my member of parliament right there. One favor, Williams. All right, all right. I don't know. Did I miss a thing in there in the chat? Or Matsi? I get it no, Gavor. I get it. I get it. I get it. Yes, Ovi, do you have anything you'd like to share? Guys, let us know if you want us to reveal or the factors before I go over to Ovi for the factors. So let us know in the chat. Ovi, talk to me.
Yes, I'm still here. And before we talk about the factors, guys, let us know how many likes we have on this one. If you're here with us and you love what we're doing, we're asking you just to give us a like. If you're not a member of this channel yet, hit the subscription button and let us continue to grow. We like to interact with you. We like this space. And if you like this space, I'm sure that you do like this space. We have put in lots of work for you for us to have this to work on tonight, and would love you to just show some support in that regard. Really looking forward to it. And next time we check the likes, I'm hoping that we can see at least 100 likes on this one. So yes, guys, continue to just give us the support. This is a nice place for us to interact in a positive way about the politics. So let's just continue to keep this going. So this is a one that we have spoken lots about this constituents here, and it's one that we are going to, we had to go through a lot of information. Mr. James,
True, true.
Mr. James, he did what he had to do in terms of the local government, and
And the
it's just
switch. So,
and
yeah.
yeah, the switch too, and the fact that he switched and he got the support shows that he was doing really really well in his constituents, and the PNP member there, he he is coming into this seat with not being been there before. Let's put it that way. And he is creating a reputation, I guess, of jumping ship. So that's not a good thing in terms of his reputation being in that way. Whenever he's not winning, then you go to a strong a strong seat to try and get back on winning terms. So that's the thing that we looked on. This has been a traditionally strong PNP seat. So, I think Alex here, he's there. He went into this one saying that, I should be able to take this one. But it was close, guys. We looked at all the factors. And, I'm going to come over to you to share anything that
Sure.
I've missed. out
Yeah, so
on this one.
another part, I guess another factor that we looked at was the fact that Wickham McNeil, packed his bag and went to Trelawney. And so if they were very confident in the PNP getting the seat, I am not too sure that Wicca would want to do that to go over, even though we have predicted that Wicca is going to take that seat in Northern Trelawney. But it's different here because no, you're having as a person who was so strong in terms of numbers, solid wins, who has decided to leave. Now, again, as we shared earlier, the leader of the opposition, Mr. Mark Golding, has shared, that they understand that they were complacent with the parish. So he shared that. And they are trying to regain the trust of the people in that context. And they understand too that Westmoreland is very significant if the PNP should come back, should bounce back, right? And so on that note, as I shared earlier, he promised, these MPs, if they should go in, he said it publicly, that they would get a portfolio. So I believe for Mr. Hills, it's going to be water and something else, but I think water is in there. And so that is significant there. So now in the context, let me just quickly look in the chat here, guys, before I make the reveal. All right, so I'm seeing reveal there, and Gavor is saying James will win this one. All right, so let's go. In the context of, there you go. So we have Garfield James as our predicted winner for this constituency. All right, so again, welcome one, welcome all. So happy to have you guys here with us. So in the context of Westmoreland Western, we are predicting that Garfield James is going to win this one. So guys, if you're here with us, hit the like button, hit the subscription button, and let us just continue to grow stronger together. So still in Westmoreland, and we're going to move over to Westmoreland Central. All right, so in this one, we have 5 electoral divisions. So we have from Petersfield, Cornwall Mountain, Sav. All right, so we have Sav North, and we just have the regular Sav. All right, so just to let you know that. All right, and Garmel is saying James cannot win. Let us know more, Garmel. All right, so in this context, we have, all right, for the Jamaica Labour Party, we have Mr. George Wright. And for the People's National Party, we have Mr. Dwayne Vaz. All right, so let's just go into the 2007 results. So again, Roger Clark here definitely held down, the seat there in Westmoreland. And as you can see with the electoral divisions here, they got all the PNP, all right, got all the electoral divisions. So I don't know, Avi, if you're able to pinpoint one that we should look at closely because they're pretty much, I don't know. I'm not sure if there's one that stands out to me just yet in the context of a strong support system for the PNP. I don't know if you have anything else you'd like to
Well,
add here.
if we're going to look at the strongest one, it's going to be Sub North. That's going to
Oh
be the
yes,
strongest
yes.
one
Oh yes, for
for the
sure.
PNP
Yeah,
right
for
there.
sure.
But Roger Clark, a stalwart in the PNP, was able to, hold on enough votes to take all of the electoral divisions in this constituency, and represented himself really, really well there in the 2007 elections, winning that one with almost 2,000 votes. So let's see how this one progress as we go through the other elections and see how this happen. We're going to keep a keen eye on the South North, the South North electoral division to see how that has impacted the results.
Fantastic. That's very good. And you see why I alone can do this? All right, let's keep going. So in 2011, all right, we're looking at the PNP now, winning. So it was 10,000 to 8,000. All right, now it's 11,000 to 8,000. So you see that there. So again, winning all the electoral divisions. And again, we're paying attention to South North. All right, so that for sure is definitely a strong support system for the People's National Party. Ovi, do you have anything else you'd like to add here?
Not much, to be honest. It's pretty much similar to what we discussed just now, except for the fact that Roger Clark was able to, convince the people to come out and vote for him, even more people to come out and vote for him. And I guess it signifies that he was connected with the people and they appreciated what he was doing in the constituents.
All right, fantastic. So over to 2016. So in 2016, all right, here comes Mr. Dwayne Vaz, all right, for the PNP, and it was pretty close. So we recognize that there has been, so now we see a clear decline because if you looked at even though they got a clean sweep of the electoral divisions, we recognize, coming from 2000, for let's say Cornwall Mountain, we're in 1008 plus. If we go to Frome, that was 1967. We are seeing 1712. Petersfield, if we go back here, we're seeing 2117. We're seeing 1902. Sav 2130, pretty much, there. And Sav North 2357. But look at the Jamaica Labour Party with Sav North. They have gained some ground there in Sav North. And you could say the same too for, let me see, Sav, and the same for Sav as well. As a matter of fact, they have been getting better, I would say, in all of the divisions. Um, so they have been doing well. Perhaps Chrome is somewhat more or less the same, but they have done better here in 2016. And when you look at 2016 now, compared to the other years, right, in the context of the dominance of the People's National Party in this constituency, it declined significantly, I would say here. So overall, you see that 9978, and for the JLP 8847. So just about 1,131 votes separating the two um, here in the context of the 2016 general election. Over to you, Ovi.
Yeah, and the numbers says it all in this election here, the 2016 election. So what we can identify here, it was two new candidates that came in to this constituents, George Wright and Dwayne Vaz taking over from the Roger Clark. So uh, something, I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but the transition wasn't the best, I would say, between um, Clark and Vaz as the numbers dwindled significantly. And he was able to hold on to the seat with, as you mentioned, just over 1,000 votes. But it was a significant drop and was, that was something that they would have to work on. And just to look on South North that we have been observing throughout this, these slides, the difference in the that was under 1,000, and that was significant as well. So yes, that's pretty much what I think happened here.
All right, for sure. So let's keep powering through. So over to 2020. All right, with the same two candidates for the main political parties. All right, now we see a difference here. And perhaps I have made that mistake, but South North is still for the PNP. All right, but when we look, the JLP, they won all the other electoral divisions. So, Ovi, I don't know if you'd like to share some more here in the context of this one.
Sure. So the electoral divisions, the most of them had switched, as you mentioned, except for South North. And that's what happened here. It was on the cards from the last election where the change from Roger Clark to Dwayne Voss did not, I wouldn't say it was smooth. I'm not sure what happened in the constituency, but that's what happened there. But the numbers dropped significantly in that 2016 elections, and over to the 2020, the JLP was able to turn things around and, got the voters out and dominated that election, you know, um, getting the win there by over 1,000 votes. And that was really significant in terms of that win for George Wright. And he, I guess, was able to connect more with the people in the constituency, as he was there going again for his second time and was able to take this seat.
All right, fantastic. So let's just move to the percentage. So in the context of 2020, Mr. George Wright got 53.6% of the votes, and Mr. Dwayne Vaz got 46.1%. We had Mr. Toreno Beckford, an independent candidate, receiving 0.2%, and Mr. Orlando Foote, another independent candidate, receiving 0.1% of the votes. So, in the context of Westmoreland Central, who can vote? So, who are the people who are registered and eligible to vote? So, based on the information we got, 48,270 people are eligible to vote. So now is the time that we want to hear from you in the context of who you believe is going to win this seat. Will it be Mr. George Wright or will it be Mr. Dwayne Vaz? So again, welcome one, welcome all. If you're just tuning in, the phone line, the WhatsApp number is pinned to the top of the chat there. Please ensure that if you're calling us, that you mute YouTube feed so that we do not get a feedback, and keep it real and respectful. All right, that is definitely important. So again, short calls because we still have one more to go. Let me just quickly take a look in the chat here just to see what is happening. All right. And Garma was saying that James cannot win. And Orville, welcome. One James. And Garmel is sharing there. James will need over 8,000 votes to win. Kenny Thompson, welcome. Strong on the work don't make sense. All right. In 2016, There was an internal rival for the seat. Which seat, Garmel? All right, so Kenny there sharing about, the work or the lack thereof of the PNP. And all right, so let us, GW, Arville is saying, I guess that's for George, right? All right, so let us know, guys, one quick call, or perhaps we can just go to the reveal. Ovi, what do you say?
Well, let's try for the call and let's see how much. Can somebody put in the chat how many likes we're at? Are we at 100 likes yet, guys? If you're here, please make sure you're hitting the like button, hitting the subscription button, and you're continuing to give us your support. So, yes, let's see what's happening in that regard. But let's see if we get a call, and if not, then we go to the review.
All right, so we're waiting for a phone call. I'm just one call away. The WhatsApp number is pinned at the top of the chat there. I'm only one call away. And if you're new here, you would know by now. If you don't know by now, I like to sing, but I can't sing. All right. Oh my, come on. Let's see who is going to give us a quick call. And hopefully everything is still in check and still working. All right. So, Ovi, I guess you could share in the meantime, and let's see what happens. Some factors that went into this tough prediction, I suppose. A very tough one. Avi, are you on the other side? Hello, it's me. Not hearing from Avi. All right. So in the context of this one, it was very tough. We I don't know how to say this, but we looked at the data for sure. We look at some factors that were happening. So factors that surrounded George Wright for certain, and we look at other factors within the PNP and what is happening. And again, even Mr. Vaz was promised a some portfolio related. I don't know if it's going to be a complete ministry, but there was some assignment that he would have gotten if they should win. I think roads were a part of that. It didn't sound to me like it was going to be like a ministry. No. The ministries were more for Dayton and sounding more for Mr. Hales. All right. So for him though, the party leader was sharing that, he would have a role in the context of, I guess, roads. All right. So, Ovi, I don't know if you want to share anything else here. So, again, guys, we look at the data, we look at the factors, and this one was pretty tough. But we're calling this one, and as you see the asterisk, it's very close. It's a tough one. And we're making the call, though, for Mr. George Wright as the predicted winner. So it's just a prediction. And once you see the asterisk, you know that it was really, really. And again, we're coming to you with one voice. So we're
Yeah,
calling that for Mr. George Wright. Now you're back. Talk to the people.
yeah. So we have seen that since Roger Clark left this seat and Vaz took over, that there has been a reduction in the voters for the PNP, and over that time there has been a steady gain for the JLP. So in essence, we're saying that we can see where the JLP has continuously they have continued to get that gradual growth going, into this constituency, and the opposite was happening for the PNP. So if you remember well, George Wright, he took the last election, and the election before that, which was in 2016, was taken by Vaz, but it was a close one. So this seat is going to be one that will continue to, we believe, will be continue to be closely contested. But based on the recent trends, we're figuring that George Wright being the person who is there now, and based on the history that is happening in terms of that progressive movement, then we are thinking that that momentum will take him to another term in in this constituency, and that's pretty much part of what we use to determine what would happen here in this one. But it was a very very close call, and as was mentioned, the asterisk signifies that this one could pretty much go anyway. But as we said before, we're
Anyway, in
speaking
the
with
context of our prediction.
yeah, for sure, yes, definitely the prediction. We are just thinking that the JLP would have a slight edge in this one, and that's why we predicted this one for the JLP and George Wright.
All right, fantastic. Thanks for sharing. And let me tell you in the chat, Garmel says wrong again, and Marva is saying wrong, wrong, wrong. So right is wrong. All right. Thanks, guys, for sharing in the chat there as always. So thanks, Garmel. Thanks, Marva, for sharing. And we're going to go right over to Westmoreland Eastern. All right. So, in the context of Westmoreland Eastern, we have four electoral divisions. So Betheltown, is this Leamington? So somebody there, you can let me know if that's not the right pronunciation. Darliston and Whitehouse. All right, so let's keep going. So in the context of the candidates, we have, and again, we did not access the official list of nominated candidates. So we're using information that is available from the political parties in the media. And, hopefully this is a representation of, what is necessarily there. All right. So we have Mr. Danny, so Danny Lawrence for the JLP, and Mr. Dayton Campbell for the People's National Party. All right, so as perhaps you would know, this is the constituency or the seat for former Prime Minister PJ Patterson, right? So his those election periods are not reflected in the data that we're providing you with, but I just wanted to highlight that to you. And perhaps that is of importance to some, so I just wanted to let you know. So when we look at the 2007 results, we have here Luther Buchanan, and we see here that he won all the divisions. So with 7751, you could call that a solid win over the JLP Don Foot. Ovi?
Yes, for sure. A strong win there for Luther Buchanan, sweeping all the electoral divisions. And, that win of 3,000 votes shows that, he was large and in charge in that constituency. And, having certain stronghold, Darliston really strong, and White House really strong as well, and they did really well in Leamington. They're pretty much a comprehensive a win here for Luther in the 2007 general elections.
Is there any division that we should look out for, Ovi? Just from your quick thinking and
So
what we have
White
talked
House
about.
for sure. White House for
Oh,
sure
White
is going to
House.
be the
Okay.
one to watch.
Okay, now I remember. See why I can't do this alone. Thank you so, so much. All right, so moving on to the 2011 results. So Mr. Buchanan again sweeping all the divisions. So Danfoot there, and then it's it's solidified in the context of the win. So White House there for sure is significant. I mean, all of them right now in the context of this 2011 results. All right, this 2011 results. So all the divisions were very significant because when you look at the margin or the gap in Betheltown, Darliston, Leamington, and White House, significant. So this is pretty much about, you could almost call this 5,000. So this is a big gap, Ovi. 4,009 plus votes. So Ovi, I don't know
Yeah,
if you have anything you'd like to share here.
well, the numbers says it all in this one. Luther really came out and, the people supported him. And, the strange thing about this was that the JLP Don Foot got the most votes in White House, which is the strong, one of the strongest
No, no,
electoral.
no, that is not true. Look again
What,
on your screen.
what, so I'm saying that Don Foot got the
Okay, I get
most
what you're saying.
votes.
My apologies.
Yes.
Okay, my apologies. Okay. Okay.
Great. So it's kind of unique that that happened in the strongest electoral division for Luther Buchanan, but a dominating performance there once more, as you said. A wide margin between both, and the PNP has total dominance of that constituency. Coming back over to you.
For sure. And it could be a case where White House is more populated than the other divisions. So over to 2016. All right, we we see here, I guess, somewhat of a decline for the PNP, you could say, when you think about Luther Buchanan, but still a solid win, you could say, with getting almost 3,000 votes. But we see here some decline. But when we look at White House, that has remained constant in the context of the strength for the People's National Party, but another win for the PNP. Ovi?
Yes, Luther Buchanan making this constituency his own. And, JLP was trying desperately for the last three elections to find somebody to counter his dominance. And Andrea, I think, did a good job there because, you could see the gap closing a little bit with her being there, but still a dominant performance there from Luther Buchanan and the PNP reigning supreme in that constituency.
All right, so over to 2020, which obviously was a win for the Jamaica Labour Party, as you can see there. So it was very close, all right. But you look at White House, and I guess we could attribute this one to COVID. I am not too sure, but for sure we discussed that. It could be a situation where voters did not turn out to vote. We don't know. We're just speculating and assuming. But when we're thinking and we consider all these things as factors, the factors may be so, or they perhaps may not be, because again, these are just predictions. And here we see, unfortunately, Luther Buchanan losing out to the Jamaica Labour Party, Danny Lawrence, just by 11 votes. 11 votes. So, Betheltown, they held on to the JLP, Darliston, Leamington, but look at Leamington, just 2 votes. And then, White House remains in the PNP's column, but obviously very, very close. Ovi, over to you.
Yeah, a significant shift in terms of the power in this the constituency. and it came down to under 20 votes to determine who would be the member of parliament for this
Yeah, just
um,
11.
yeah, so for this constituency. So it I'm not sure what happened. As it could be COVID, it could be complacency from the member of parliament, or even from the voters. Because guys, we don't turn out to vote sometimes because we're saying that, oh, this is a PNP area, and PNP is going to win, or JLP area, and it's JLP is going to win, and we don't vote. Remember, each vote counts. So go out and vote and ensure that you are representing for your respective party. So I'm not too sure here, but it's a dramatic switch in events, and Donny Lawrence found a way to break that long run of PNP leadership in that constituency, and just did so by 11 votes. But it just needed one more than the opposition, or the opponents should say, to get in, and that's what he did, get in more votes in total, and that's what it boiled down to. So you can see how significant your vote is if you don't go out and put your finger in the ink for your respective party. So coming back over to you.
All right, for sure. So, on that note, in the context of the percentage voting of votes, 49.9% went to Mr. Daniel Lawrence, and 49.8% went to Mr. Buchanan, Luther Buchanan, and 0.4% went to Mr. Haley Mikhail. All right. And in the context of Westmoreland Eastern and who can vote based on the number that we got from the ECJ, it's 31,270 people who are eligible to vote. All right, so that's what we have here. Did I say this number before? Looks familiar. Hopefully this was updated, but yes. So this is what we have in the context of who can vote. No, oh my. There's a slide that is missing there, Ovi. Did the people see that? Ah, well, you know
I
what?
don't
It's
know if you saw that. Let us know in the chat. Let us.
somebody misputted in a slide. I hope it's not in the wrong place, but whatever it is, you see, guys, we're all human here and we definitely make mistakes. So I guess over on that note, we can just go to the predicted winner because that's the slide that has popped up. So we are predicting that, Mr. Dayton Campbell is going to win this one. Again, this one was a very close one. And, one that, we are looking at several factors and maybe a seat that we'll perhaps have a conversation about in the future. Because, and this is why we wanted to access the list of nominated candidates, but up until now, we are not seeing that. And, the elections are upon us. So we wanted to share our predictions as promised. I know that, what we know is that I believe 6 people were nominated in this constituency. So we're trying to find out who are the 6 people. Of course, we know 2 for sure. Well, not for based on what the parties, the main parties share. We also know that Mr. Campbell, yes, is coming from St. Anne with a big loss, right? So we understand those factors too. So do not believe that we are not taking those things into consideration. And we have went back and forth, in regarding other aspects that we see happening. And let us just take this caller. Hello, Carmel. Welcome. You are live,
Yeah,
live,
good,
live.
good night. Good night.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Wonderful. Talk to us. It's been a while you
Yeah,
haven't called us.
Yeah, I have to call him because I see you people getting the thing wrong. All wrong, wrong, wrong.
Yeah, so we're wrong.
Yeah.
Talk to us. Talk to us.
No, the things, the thing is, I'm going to make this thing clear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't belong to none of the party.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But for Westmoreland, it's going to be a clean sweep for
For
the,
for the
for the PNP.
okay. Why you
Yeah,
believe
there are
that?
some things that your people miss. There's
Like
some
what?
factor that your people miss some factors. All right, you see for the Dewey and Vaz in 2016,
Mm-hmm.
there was after Roger Clark died, there was some internal infighting for the to represent the seat.
Okay.
So maybe that was the reason why
The
the
numbers went like that.
the number went down.
Okay.
And then the next thing again now in 2020, remember that is 4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Election was called early.
Mm-hmm.
The election was called early when Andrew Holness was having that little momentum, and it was the COVID period.
For
And
sure.
if you look at the number of voters on the PNP side, a lot of PNP did not turn out in Westmoreland.
So
If you look at the number,
so
a lot of PNP did
how
not
do we
turn out.
know which side? How do we know which side is the PNP side? Because we just look at the divisions and kind of figure out
No,
that.
if you look at the number before the amount
Oh, the
the amount of
previous
vote that they get
election.
in 20,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, the previous election, and you know that's I believe it was which area that the JP was getting like 5,000 votes from 27 up until 2020. I believe they get about 1,000 more votes, and then the JLP they lost about maybe it was like a total. I believe it was Wickham McNeil in the Wickham McNeil constituency. The vote went down.
Okay.
So that thing was like the 2020 like the 1980. It was 1989 when Siaga called that snap election and Michael Manley
We would have to go back and look at those numbers.
and they did not the PNP did not contest
Contest
that
the election. Yeah.
they did not contest the election. So this one it was something similar. That's why you have the PNP lose so many seats.
But they have to
But
have they have to. But you see, with the as I said, I don't want to get into it, guys. Similar to you, I don't want anybody to think this is a political platform because we know that this isn't a political platform. So you know, a part of it too, I think, with the PNP is that they were busy, with the one PNP and the rise, right? So I feel like once that the JLP, I guess they capitalize on that because there were obviously factions in the party at the time as well. So that's a factor that I guess transition into 2020 election. And of course, Peter Bunting, I would say, is political calculation and timing was definitely off. And so, and then, when the time came, yeah,
okay,
yeah,
there
yeah,
was a lot of things going on at the
yeah.
time.
So, so there were, and as I said, guys, we just review and we see what's going on, but I don't want to get into these things because we just
No,
here
the
to.
thing is, we have to when you're doing a prediction, you have to look at those factors for the 2020 election because you
we
guys were saying like you did not know what really was happening, what was going on, but that was a factor.
we know
The
some of
PNP
the
they didn't.
things, like we know some of the things, but sometimes we try not to. So like Ovi and I, we go back and forth in the context, and we say, okay, we're not coming here to split, to say, okay, this is my pick or this is your pick. We just try to go one voice, And so we go back and forth, but we don't want to go back and forth with people. So if you similar to how you would call and you raise that point, we can say, oh yeah, we talk about that, we see that too, in that context. But I feel that this is still continuing in the PNP, and this election is going to be very critical for both parties. Either party that loses, it's going to trigger an internal what you call that now, runoff, leadership runoff.
For this one, this election is it's a do or die for both parties.
I agree.
It's a do or die for both parties. Trust me.
I agree. But I feel that if the PNP loses, they stand more to lose because they have been fighting for too long, for a bit now. And even when you look at how certain candidates are placed into certain constituencies, you still see the rise, and you still see someone PNP will say, well, if rises I get, it's you can still see that somewhat division, albeit the fact that they're coming to you as a whole. Like, how I don't know, but that is still there. But we want the best of the best for Jamaica. That is all I'm saying. So we want them to be the best and do the best for the people.
Okay, for the last constituency in Westmoreland, who did you predict it for? The one between Dayton Cameron and
Dayton and Danny Lawrence.
Lawrence,
Dayton Campbell.
Okay. He's gonna win because in the last election, I believe you said that the JLP actually winning Betheltown division.
I would have to go back. Let me just go back one side here.
That would be kind of strange.
Yeah, they won it, but it was about 20 votes.
20 votes?
Yeah.
And you know that for many years they have never win
they never win any for a lot.
in Betheltown.
Yeah.
No.
So and a part of it too, Garmel, is that we have a lot of young people who are coming up, and you can call them like the swing votes. So these young people, you're not too sure what they're gonna do. So when you look at that, and you don't know what they're going to do, and and again, parties are different for people. So older people might want road and water and then little things. Young people might have different parties. So it's hard to tell too, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, for sure the PMP they're gonna sweep. The only for, Ian Niels for sure.
And you say Vaz is going to take it, and Dayton.
Dayton Cameron for
Dayton Campbell.
For sure. For sure. You see the James there's a lot of thing going on with with James.
Okay.
Because James was
man, we talk about the other side.
The other side, and he stepped across, and then he voted against the deputy mayor that was on his side. So. And that person actually lose the deputy mayorship. And that person is now the mayor.
So we'll definitely see how this one pans out for sure, Gamil. Yeah, it's very interesting.
And then when he go over now, then he challenge the sitting MP. So he's gonna lose.
All right, we'll see how it goes. Thanks for sharing your prediction. So how are things going otherwise? You good?
I am good.
Fantastic. Tomorrow Diamond League, I don't know if you can tune in, but we'll be here for that.
I I will try it.
Oh,
I'm trying.
we know why you miss nothing this time, you know.
No, the thing is, it kind of difficult. If you realize that you're up, the time now is kind of
Yeah.
late.
Yeah, because we're back and forth trying to figure out because we said we can't come to the people and one on one side. We were back and forth. So we started out a bit late this evening. So hopefully earlier tomorrow. But with everything happening, you know, life, work, this, that, you know, it's yeah.
So that is the reason why I am here, because most of the time when you're on, I'm traveling.
Yeah, I remember you said that you we make you miss your train. Oh, you went on the
Okay.
wrong one. Yeah, you went on the wrong one or something. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. All right. So I just want to tell you people, thanks for the wonderful work that you are doing, and just continue.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to us here.
Mhm. So I have to go now.
All right, Gamel, blessings.
You take care.
All right. Yes, guys. So on that note, fantastic, you know, Garmel for sure, for sure. And let me just look in the chat here. Gavor is saying that Dayton will not win. Arville is saying he will win a bus seat. All right. All right. And a lot of work has been put in by the JLP in Westmoreland. All right. The people, and I'm just looking here. Gafortion, the people did not turn out because they were okay, so ashamed, I guess, to see that things are going on. And okay, not by who they hope. All right, but now more and more people are seeing, all right, as okay to make changes and less one-sided. I'm okay to make changes. All right. Kenny is saying yes, yes, yes. Young people know jail fees the best. All right, Kenny, big up yourself. And Mr. Yee, welcome, welcome. So guys, Ovi, I don't know if you have anything you'd like to share.
Well, I have to share and just say thanks to Garmel for, the call and really appreciate him. And guys, Garmel has been someone who has been here with
Oh,
us
yes.
for a long time, and we really appreciate having him here. And we really appreciate it, and that's what we love here. We're a family here, and that's what we want to keep it. Despite our views not being the same at times, we definitely can have really really good discussions, professional discussions, responsible discussions about what is happening out there. And guys, remember, it's just predictions here. We don't know who is going to win the seat. And that is why we are going to encourage you to stick and stay here with us so that you can say voices in education of it. You were wrong, or we'll say, well, we were right. But that's not going to change the love and respect that we have for
Family.
each other.
I wish a family. Go out with the thing, yeah, Ovi. We can't sing. You know that already.
Yeah, go out of yourself, man.
How me sound on your side? How me sound? How me sound?
You're sounding good, man. You're sounding good.
How you
Guys,
not
let us
say? Yeah,
let
man.
us
Me never
let us
know say
know
me
how to
sound
sound
good,
in the
man.
chat.
Me never know say me sound good. You know, say tell me say me sound good.
We don't want to turn this into singing, We don't want to turn this into singing because you see what is happening here. Persons are predicting and persons are looking forward for great representation in their constituency, and that's what we want. So, guys, remember to do your part by going out and voting.
All right, for sure, guys. So it has been a night or morning, evening, wherever you're tuned in from. And we just want to thank you so much for keeping the chat going, for keeping it real and respectful. We appreciate that for sure. Please ensure that you hit the like button, you hit the subscription button, and turn on your post notification. All right, that is definitely important. So tap the bell, select all, so that you do not miss any updates, because we're going to be here until the election day and night, and we're going to be here until we kind of know who won the election on September 3rd, right? So you want to be here with us, and again, we don't have a specific time because it's two of us, and we have to find time when we can talk, and life happens and we do other things, and our platform is not that big, so it's not like we can quit what we're doing to just do this 100. But if you want us, just continue to support us, guys. And we have plans for this platform, and one day you'll see us out there and you can say, remember them, remember that like a platform, for real. So we want to do big for our people, right? And so the word here is always love. It's always about blessings. And just remember that with Christ in the vessel, you can smile at the storm. And don't bother cuss your neighbor, all right, about orange or green. At the end of the day, we're all Jamaicans. So after you win, if your party win, you jump. And if your party no win and you decide to cry, or you decide to cuss out who you want, cuss out to say true, they never do this or they never do that. At the end of the day, we can all gather back here, and we're still the voices in education community. All right, so we really appreciate the support, and we really appreciate that you recycle foam at Sarkan Depot. Okay, now I am not doing what I need to do. We really appreciate that you're sticking here with us, and you're here. And I see that LOL, Maria, there was the cussing and the crying and the jumping and the screaming, whatever the emotions are, we'll be here. All right, so we'll always be here. And I am so happy that we can have this space where, if you're PNP or JLP, or if you don't support what I'm saying, you see, it's okay. We understand that. I am not going to cuss you out. This is not this platform. All right, we're not dealing with the bagger and we can talk out things, and reason out things, and we can still even leave here disagreeing, but we know that it's a good vibe when what you disagree and we are come back the next day. That's fine. All right. And so again, we really appreciate your support, and for you just being here with us. Ovi, do you have any final comments?
Well, yes, I have to say thanks to each and everyone that is here and that has passed through. We really appreciate that you could stick and stay here with us. Remember to ensure that you have your post notification on. And the only way you can do that is by subscribing to this platform. Stick and stay with us through the election. Please join us for Diamond League and, schoolboy football. There's something here for all of us, and the same vibe is carried out right across, all the events that we cover. We build this platform on, the premise that we want respect to be mutual and persons to be respected and, be able to share their voice. And that's what we do. So if you like the vibe here, I'm sure you'll find something here for you. But boy, we really appreciate you sticking and staying up here with us. We came on late and you're here with us, and that is something that we must salute you for. We really appreciate having you here. And as we are going to move away from this live until next time, I'm going to say walk good and take care. We love every letter that you type, every like, every even comment you put in the chat, every call. We really appreciate having you here with us. So until next time, take care of yourself.
All right, thank you so much, Ove, for your continued support. All right, really appreciate you as well. Yes, guys, thank you all so much. We're going to go to some music and sign out of this one. Please remember to hit the like button, the share button, and the subscription button, and let us just continue to grow stronger together. All right, so if you have not yet hit the subscription button, what are you waiting for? Subscribe now. All right, guys, thank you so much. And we'll see you in the next live, all right? Or in the next video. Just support the videos and the channel as well. All right, guys, so over to some music. Mario, big up to you too. All right, appreciate the support.